Recording.
So here we go. All right, so we warmed up. Let's go ahead and get started. So as we said, this is a special edition of the Financial Fed Friday. Welcome if you're just joining us. As we said, this is a special edition of the Financial Fed Friday show. What did I just do, you all? But it's great. So welcome to the special edition of Financial Fed Friday. I am Darlene Jenkins, one of your hosts, and
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Yeah, so we are your co-hosts of Financial Fed Friday. And of course, the Financial Fed Friday, this is a webinar that we do every other Friday at 10 a.m. And what we're doing is we broadcast simultaneously on Facebook. Welcome everyone on Facebook. Welcome those of you that are just joining us right now. And during the Financial Fed Friday webinars, we pull back the curtain so that you can get an in-depth understanding of not only your federal benefits, but also your best retirement and investment options. Now, you can register for this at www.ritabrolandevents.com, or you can always go to our Facebook, like us, and follow us at Your AB Solutions. So thank you everyone for jumping on. We appreciate you. Now, this is a special edition. As I said, we're normally scheduled to be back next Friday on January the 11th. So please come back and join us for our regularly scheduled Financial Fed Friday broadcast. So the whole purpose of this Financial Fed Friday that we do is just to help you understand not only your benefits, but your money, your spending habits, and to support and offer solutions that will enable you to reach your financial
destination.
Exactly. That's right, Rita. We doing it, right?
Right. We're doing it. So we're gonna keep this thing moving. Go ahead.
So before we jump into the information, though, we just want to let you know that all of this information we're presenting is going to be generic in approach. Why? Because without knowing each and every one of you that are on here and your particular situation, we can't customize it for just you. However, if you contact us, and we'll be giving you our contact information intermittently throughout the broadcast, we can customize the information that you've had, that you've seen, so to help you reach your financial destination. As I said, Rita and I, we are here to help you reach your financial destination, whatever that may be. So please accept this information that we're imparting to you as general in context and apply it where you feel it fits your particular situation. So thank you for understanding that, and we're going to just jump right on that.
So understanding your benefits during the furlough. Unfortunately, this is day 14 of a shutdown. And for many of you, you've out of work, or your husband may be out of work, or your daughter, or somebody close to you. But just like you're out of work, because most of our business, we help government employees, we're impacted by the furlough, just like you are. There's so many other businesses other than just the employee that has this impact. But you have called me, you was like, Rita, I don't have any money, or what's going to happen to my insurance, what's going to happen, you have questions. So we decided today to bring you some information that we've gotten from OPM. It's nothing that we came up with, but we want to share it to you and hopefully make it where it's simple for you to understand, and then come up with some solutions and some ideas to help you weather-proof this next storm. It's important for us to understand that being proactive is important. So when we go over this information at the end, we're going to give you some solution, but it's important for us to just understand it, be prepared, because this is coming again, and it's going to come again and again and again. So it's important for us to be ahead of the game and not behind it in the future. So we're going to let Ms. Jenkins get started, and she's trying to use her phone, y'all, and she's
I'm used to doing one thing, you all. Welcome everyone that has just joined us. Welcome. Look, so let's just get right into it. During this furlough, as Rita said, a lot of people have been calling to the office. They've been asking us questions. So let's just get right to it. Your retirement credit. So if you're under the civil service retirement system or under the first retirement system, they will allow up to 6 months of leave without pay to be credited towards your eligibility for computation during any calendar year. So Darlene, what does all of that mean? So you're basically, although you're on furlough, you're in a non-pay status. But if you have leave without pay, that leave without pay can still be counted towards your retirement credits. That's not this situation because you're actually in a non-pay status due to an administrative furlough. So we just wanted to give you that information, because if you're ever out on leave without pay, just know that you're allowed up to 6 months of leave without pay, and it still will be credited towards the amount of time they use to figure out your retirement money. Now, leave and time off, because this is a big issue. Many people have been reaching out to me saying, oh, I have use or lose. What's going to happen to my leave? So basically, this is what OPM has said, that during an administrative furlough, an employee is not able to substitute any paid leave or any other forms of paid time off for any hours or days designated as furlough time off. Basically, the government doesn't have any money, so you can't use any leave to try to pay yourself a paycheck, because ultimately the government is paying you and they don't have the money, even if you want to say, well, just use my leave. No. As we said earlier, if you were on leave, on vacation, when this furlough started, that was canceled. You were supposed to come back to your duty station if you are designated as an essential employee. But basically, all leave was canceled. And then also the accumulation of non-pay status hours. This is important. During a leave year can affect the accrual of your annual and sick leave. What does that mean? So right now we're in day 14. So we've already had 80 hours of unpaid leave in this non-pay status. Now, what that means is that once you reach 80 hours, and we'll get more into this on the other slides, but once you reach, you can go ahead, once you reach 80 hours, then that affects your leave accrual. So what happens is, if you reach 80 hours in a year, in a whole year, then they're saying, okay, we're not going to continue to credit you your leave. However, this is a unique situation, because if it continues to drag on, then you're going to reach well over 80 hours, and then it's going to be incumbent upon Congress to make sure all employees are restored whole with their leave, and that these 80 hours in the non-pay status are not counted towards you. Now, if this should happen under any other circumstances where you're at work, and this is just good for you to know, if you accumulate 80 hours in a year in a non-pay status, if you, the next year, as long as you have 80 or less, at the end of that leave calendar year, they wipe it off the books and it doesn't count towards, negatively towards you. Now, to get back to those of you that have use or lose, because that's a big issue. Basically, it's up to the agency. It's up to each agency if they're going to reinstate that. Now, the only thing that can override the agency is if, again, Congress makes all of the employees whole when they redo the legislation. See, most people are just concerned about their pay. Am I going to get my back pay? Which is all, it's normal, it's the norm, but they don't have to, and we don't know what's going to happen with these negotiations. But the union, and I'm just going to put a little plug in here right now for them, they are actually suing the government. They're fighting to make sure employees are restored whole across the board, and that includes your benefits. Leave is a benefit.
Absolutely.
For the most part. And so if Congress doesn't put it in there, then it falls to the individual agencies. And if your agency says, well, nope, we you know, hey, we're not going to do it, we lost it, you went off. Now, in order for you, if Congress says, yes, we are going to go ahead and restore that use or lose leave, you must, in order to get yours restored, you must have applied for, put in, meaning you put in to be off, to use your use or lose, and that your time off was approved. It had to have been approved. And if you met those criteria, then if they restore it, it will be restored.
I think it's important for us to understand at this point too that some of you are not part of the union. Maybe your job, you cannot be a part of the union. You're a supervisor. You're, what is it called? Not
in the bargaining unit, non-bargaining unit employee.
But for all of those supervisors, let them union members go to those meetings. Let them pay their dues, because those union members, some of them at a lower ranking than you, their dues are paying for them to fight for you too. So the union becomes real important at times like this, because the union is going to heal fighting for you to get your stuff back. So support the union, whether you're in it or not. And if you can pay $20 is 1 meal you miss a pay period to support it. We need this, because at times like this, what we're going to share right now is because the union continues to fight for you to have what you need to have. So when it comes to things like, what are they taking out of my paycheck? What if my pay is not enough to cover your health insurance? Your premiums will accumulate and be withheld from your pay upon return to a pay status if it's not enough. Here's the issue. If they pay you back your money, you're fine. But if they do not pay you back your back pay, you still have to pay these premiums. So we're going to give you some solutions at the end, but it's going to be really important that we pay attention to your dollars today. You cannot spend, you can't go shopping, because we really don't know what's going to happen. Your flexible spending account, payroll deductions, of course, if you're not working, they have nothing to deduct. But the employee will remain enrolled in the flexible spending account, but eligible healthcare claims incurred during a non-pay status will not be reimbursed until you return back to a pay status and your allotments are successfully restarted. So, and the remaining will be recalculated over how many pay periods are left. So if you miss 2 pay periods and your amount is $100, they're going to stretch that $200 over the other 23 allotments. So it could be another $10 a pay period for you to cover it. Of course, eligible dependent care expenses incurred during a non-pay status may be reimbursed up to whatever balance is in your dependent care account, as long as the expenses incurred during the non-pay status allows the employee or spouse, if married, to work, look for work, or attend school full time. So make sure you, when you enroll, understand what you're doing. You're vaguely, you can be out for up to 12 months in a non-pay status, and there's going to be no cost to you or your employer. So that's very good, because, you know, anything could happen to any of us at any time. And you know, one of the things we're as insurance agents, we always want to make sure people are covered. So at least you know that you're covered for the next 12 months in your family. Your dental and vision, they want their money. So they're going to send you a bill, and if you don't pay it, you do not have any dental and vision. So pay attention to your mail, because if they send you a bill and it's longer than normal time, you're going to have to pay it. And then in retirement, if a shutdown furlough occurs during the 3 years of service prior to retirement, people want to know, how does it affect my high 3? Generally, there would be no effect on your high 3 pay unless the furlough causes you to be in a non-pay status for 6 months or more. And we praying that this government gets something together over the next few days, the day of the next week or something. That I doubt if it goes 6 months, but that's the only impact. And are your retirement rules concerning FERS and CERS different? There's nothing when it comes to this furlough. CERS and FERS are treated the exact same in terms of retirement.
And I wanted to add something else, because I received some emails. And Deborah Beasley, I hope you're watching and you're on here. I apologize for not being able to get directly back to you. And so retirees, Rita, want to know, am I going to be getting paid? What's going to be happening to my retirement check? What's going on with my Social Security check? For those that are eligible, well, you will still be getting paid. Retirees, you'll still be getting paid. Social Security, if you're getting a Social Security check, you will not be affected by the furlough, the government shutdown.
Because They have their own funds.
Right, they had their own funds. And then also this shutdown, this shutdown is only affecting 7 agencies. Now I say only, that's still 800,000 employees, but the rest of the government is the remaining agencies have been funded. And as Rita said, OPM, they have their own pool of money, agencies that generate their own income, they have their own autonomy. Exactly. Yeah. Postal workers, so they're not affected by this. So the agencies that pay that money, you will be receiving your retirement check. Oh, this is something else too, though, Rita. If you just put in your retirement paperwork at the end of the year,
she's just going ahead, y'all.
Oh, I apologize. Okay, well, go ahead. Look, I'm just excited, and I want to just
go ahead. You right there.
No, go ahead. No, you go. No, you go.
Well, if an employee is scheduled to retire before the end of the year, so if you were scheduled to retire before the end of the year, you had an annual leave balance that's over the maximum 240, 360, 720, and the furlough prevents you from retiring. From the employee's retirement from getting processed until after the furlough. Does the employee lose his or her annual leave above the maximum? The answer is no. The employee's retirement would be retroactively applied to the date prior to the end of the leave year, and the employee will receive the full amount of accumulated and accrued annual leave in that lump sum payment. So you will not lose it. It'll just be delayed. Delayed but not denied. So that's always a good thing. One of the things that Arlene just said, there would be no impact on your OPM process and your paperwork because OPM retirement services are funded by the Civil Service Retirement and Disability Fund, and they are not and will not be furloughed. However, if you did turn in your paperwork for retirement and your agency is on a furlough and your HR that processes is furloughed, then your paperwork probably will be denied because your application has to be done in your HR before it gets to OPM. So if it never made it to OPM before the end of the year, then your retirement, of course, could be in a delayed process. And so I just, this, you guys, is not easy for anybody. And even though some of us are at work, this has impacted all of us because whether you're at work and your husband not, or your child's not, or your sister's not, or maybe your agent can't work, there's a lot of people being affected. So as we think about it, be sensitive because everybody truly is affected by a furlough.
Everyone. And even though this is, it really has nothing to do with the furlough per se, but when you have to keep in mind when you retire, even before the furlough happened, OPM has a backlog. So we're going to be getting into some solutions of why it's important to have, number one, an emergency and a contingency plan and to operate off of a budget. So even though, you have to have proper plans in place.
Yes, and so one of the questions, I have a lot of clients have already called me, emailed me, text me, Rita, what happens with my allotment? Well, if there's no paycheck, you guys, we know there's nothing is being paid. So what I suggest you do is that you call all the financial institutions. If you just have money going to an account for savings, then you're fine. Your savings account just won't get any money. But for many of you, your allotments are paying for a bill. And if there's no allotment to go, you need to contact all those financial institutions and inform them of your furlough and that you will not be able, that they should not expect a payment from an allotment. Also, if you have any automatic drafts from out of your account, so you have $100 go to your account at Navy, and the next day Navy pays a bill. Well, if the money isn't going there, you need to probably freeze any of your automatic payments if you don't have sufficient funds to cover it, so that you don't begin to have your overdrafts and everything. And it's important, whoever you are, to contact every financial institution, whether you're having financial problems or not. You may have plenty of money, your bills are paid on time, but I still will inform them so it's on your record that you are one of the employees that were affected by the furlough. And of course, there's ways for you to start to save money. This is a chart I use all the time. And so now that you're home, you really cannot be going to Starbucks. Like, I just had my cup today, but I stopped Starbucks a while ago, but yeah. I love, and I make me a cafe mocha. I've gotten to these cafe mochas, y'all. So what I got some Swiss Miss hot chocolate with my hot chocolate and some cream, and I got me a cafe mocha, but it cost me probably 67 cents as opposed to $4 at Starbucks. So begin to look at how can you cut during this time period. Reduce your cable bill. I got this really nice antenna, so some of my TVs don't have cable. Like, I'm just not about to spend all my money on things that are not important. So I have a really good antenna, and I get about 28 channels, all the channels that I truly need, and I'm good. Of course, you're out. Now, I went out with a client on Monday. Was it Monday or no, Wednesday? And I was really surprised. The restaurants are full. And I'm like, are all these government workers out shopping and eating and spending your money? If you have it, that is not a problem. But you don't want to get caught up in like it's a vacation and really spend too much. Start to drink more water. Just ways to reduce your expenses is going to be critical, because you don't know. And if you go back to work, when is your next paycheck? And just looking at all of your debts and finding ways for you to cut your costs during this time period. You can also, and all of the information that we've shared is you can go to the OPM website, even where we talked about the leave and your salary deduction, all of that came from OPM. And OPM even has some suggestions for you to give a sample letter to call your bill collector. So this things for you to consider. You want to speak to your landlord, your mortgage company, all of your bill collectors. You want to call them. You want to get a name of a person. Don't just put anybody. You want to get a name of a person and confirm that they would be willing to take a reduced plan. And some of you guys, if you've been good on your credit, you can call your card note people. They will put a card note on the back end, your mortgage company, because you're not the only one. It's people all over the country. So they're getting calls from not just you, but from everybody. So they have put things in place to assist you in this period. And be sure to send the letter directly to the person whose name you spoke with. Make sure that the necessary information is in the letter, your account number, your address of your home, your phone number, how they can reach you if they have some questions, and make a copy of the letter. And for many of you, send it certified mail. We love the mail, man, because my husband retired postal, my sister, my family, we love the mail, but stuff get lost in the mail. So I say send a certified copy so you have proof that you sent that letter.
And also, you touched on something very important, Rita. Right now, if you are not feeling the pinch of not having a paycheck because you do have some reserve, we're hoping that this doesn't drag on. But I have to tell you, I don't know how confident I am in this not dragging on on a prolonged basis, because as I watch the news and I see both sides, and it doesn't matter which side you come down on, you have to make sure you take proactive steps. Now, these are letters that OPM have put out to help you, have some sort of redress to your creditors.
Yes.
However, you also need to get out pen, paper, log onto your computer, however you want to do it, and start contacting your representatives, both in the Senate as well as your congressional representatives. Why? This is where, and if I'm going to have full transparency. In school, when we learned about the government, our government, and the three branches of government, I sort of snoozed through some of that, Rita. But now understanding the three branches of government and how they work together and coexist is crucial right now. So yes, contact your creditors, because you're probably stressed out. And I would also implore you, take a deep breath. We're going to get through this situation, but there's some things proactively right now that you can do. These letters, as Rita is going through, do that. But also, you've never done it before, get pen to paper or fingers to keyboard and get to contacting your representatives, both in the Senate as well as in the House, because the Senate is saying, well, we're not going to bring anything to the floor. If the Senate doesn't bring it to the floor, then it cannot progress to the president for a yay or nay. But each branch of government must do their part. This is your money. This is our government. So we have to hold everyone accountable, because guess what? Our creditors are going to be holding us accountable. They want their money on the 1st, no later than the 15th. Go ahead, Rita.
And I forgot to talk about thrift savings. So make sure, of course, if you don't have a paycheck, there's nothing coming out for your thrift. If you have a loan, you just want to contact TSP, and so that you can understand the impact of that, not having a loan, not being able to make your payments and everything. So just you're not alone. You have, whatever you do, don't just sit home and do nothing and cry and mope. Like she said, write, pay attention to all of your finances, and just be active, engaged in the process. So here's the letter. Like I said, you can go on OPM. I would send it to you, but it'd be a lot more work. You just go to OPM and they have samples of the letters. It's in a Word doc. You can just copy, put your name and information, and you're done. Unless you want to make some changes to it. Can you get a part-time job? Most of you probably can, but there's some agencies that there's some rule under the CF5, CRF, Part 2635. Some of you can't do certain things because of your status or your clearance or whatever. You need to check that. But for everybody else, I have a client, she called me yesterday. I just, she was like, Reed, I wanted you to know, thank you. I thank you for just kind of being my advisor, kind of helping me make sure I had a reserve and budget. And she worked part-time. She said, what I did was I called my part-time job and they increased my hours. She said, I'm also doing Uber. And she said she's doing something else. So there's ways for you to don't just sit home if you don't have any money. Figure out what can you do. So here's some things that we talked about. How can you get some more money? What are your shutdown strategies? One is a part-time job. If you can't work, go out and work. If you have Uber, if you have a car, I think Uber, Lyft, your car can't be older than 6 years old. Do your few rides every day, whatever. Instacart. I have a client, she does Instacart. I think Tanya said she make about $400 or $500 a week. And all she does is she goes to the grocery. People that don't want to go to the grocery store, probably me, even though I go, which is big business now. She actually goes to the grocery store. There's two ways to do it. Somebody else in the store pack it up, and all you do is just put it in your car and take it to somebody, or you may even go shop for them if you like picking out fruits and vegetables and meat. But that's all she does. And she says sometimes the run may be $12, but they tip her $20. She's make $400 or $500 a week just delivering people's grocery. So there's ways out here to do it. And of course, OPM or somebody else put out that you can get some loans and hardship. But to me, if you're already in a position where you don't have any money, getting more loans and getting into more debt could be a tough place for you, especially if they don't pay you back. Now, we don't know what they're going to do, but if it's your only way out and you're going to lose everything you have and you need to do a hardship withdrawal, then that's understandable. And trust me, you guys, this is really touchy for me because in 1993, I lost everything. And I lost everything not because of the government shutdown, not because of anything, just because you could be a little trifling at times. And for me, we could take our finances for granted. We can just spend and enjoy life. And when tough times hit, it takes us out the game. So in 1993, it was a tough time. One of the companies we worked with just was acting like a buffoon, and we didn't get paid for 6 months. But it wasn't their fault that we did. It was their fault that they messed up, but it was my fault that I did not have a reserve. And so that year, the IRS seized on my account. I had a Mercedes-Benz. It got snatched. I moved out of my apartment before they evicted me because I didn't realize I didn't want myself on the street.
You had heard of tenants court.
I had never heard of court. I had never been late on anything, so I was devastated. So I packed up and moved, and all of that happened in that year. And I remember my mentor saying to me, and I'm going to say this to you, he said, Rita, whether you get to keep your car, you don't have to move, and the IRS give you back all of your money, you still got to get up and go to work tomorrow. If you lose it all and they don't give you back the money and you get to stay in your place, you still got to get up and go to work tomorrow. So the more of the story and the more of your story, what's going on with you, whether you lose some stuff, you gain some stuff, you stress out, you're still going to have to get up for most of us and work tomorrow. And what I learned from that is that I lost it all that year. I lost every single thing. And many people said, Rita, you lost all of that? I don't even remember it happened because I had to change my mindset, how I saw it, because I was going to lose it anyway. I wasn't going to lose my mind because I lost my car. The IRS took all my money and I had to move out of my apartment. I made a decision at that point to do something different. Now, let me be real with y'all. Y'all heard my story about my house in 2004. So we talking about 11 years later. I hadn't learned all of the lessons. This today, if you're going through a really rough time, we're going to be real. The government doing what they do, and they're going to always do what they do until there's no more government. This will always happen. It's really about what you make a decision to do, how you begin to shift your own life, your own spending, your own habits, so that this does not have an impact on you like it should. I had to learn some very valuable lessons, that honoring my money and respecting it so that it could respect me back. I can't expect my pocketbooks to give me anything if I don't give it anything. And so just as you go through this hard time, if you have to lose some stuff, learn the hard lesson and make a real decision that this won't be you again. And guess what? You may got some tenants in your house, some grown kids at work making just as much money as you do. Some of y'all parents, I know y'all say, Rita, but you don't have no kids. You don't understand. I've been a child who had a job and my parents made me pay rent. So I do understand. Make them pay some rent. They making 60, 70 grand and you just want them out your house. And all they know is like, well, mom ain't charging me now, I'm gonna go shop and do everything. Charge them some rent. And guess what? Some of us got this Amazon app, just one click on take all of the stuff that make it easy for you to shop. And these are times where you got to really change your habits. And that one click.
Emotional shopping.
It's serious. Right now, you're emotional.
You are emotional, and emotional shopping, emotional eating. I know I'm very guilty of. I picked up the other bad habit of shopping because I definitely was an emotional eater. But yeah, so that is very important, Rita.
So take it off. So make it difficult for you to purchase things. Like one of the things we're doing for churches, and I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Facebook now because of I'm working. But I took the what you call it. The app is up there, but I took off the little warnings or the little
notifications.
The notifications, so I'm not caught up. And guess what? You might want to do a home-based business. Now, just like I told you, we're impacted by this same shutdown. One thing I've learned years ago, my mentors told me you got to have multiple streams of income. And even though I'm self-employed and I have a decent business, but guess what? If y'all shut down, we shut down too. We are furloughed just like you're furloughed, because if you're afraid to move, you don't want to make any financial decision during this time. So that shuts us down too. So I have multiple streams of income, and one of my home-based businesses on this thing is called mwrfinancial.com. Go check out my website. It's about helping people fix their credit, get out of debt, build wealth, and not be in this situation. And I got a text the other day. I got 4, 5, 6 people on my team. They just told me I got a guaranteed $20 a day every day. So that's $600 a month, y'all. So that's my car note and my car insurance and probably a little gas from just helping a few people get their finances together. So join our team. You got to always have multiple streams of income, because if one stream stops, there's another stream that's still coming in. So don't be discouraged.
And Rita, you always say this during the workshops, and we say it on here also. In addition, like we're saying, hey, go get a part-time job. But some of you, Rita, you just brought up about a part-time business, a home-based business. Some of you already have skills and talents that you can monetize right now. This is the time. If you're off, not something you wanted to do, start looking at how you can monetize what you're already doing. And please, if you are not affected, you're an accepted employee, but you know someone who is, please have them to contact us. You can go to our website, www.yourabsolutionsinc.com. You can rewatch this, send them over there, have them to join us. So please, you want to just consider all of that.
And so at the end of the day, when this is all over, even while you're home now, make yourself an emergency plan and evaluate it twice a year to verify that it works. Do you have everybody, when you meet with us, the foundation of our financial pyramid, we got savings and reserve. We tell you need to have 3 to 4 months in a reserve account. Everybody that see us, we have that pyramid. That's what we say. So it's important right now for you to always have it. If you do not have it today, don't beat yourself up. You guys don't talk about it, because if I talked about my past, I'm talking about I would be depressed right now, because I know I done blew $3 million on nothing. Shopping, clothes. I gave away 126. I gave away 126 items of clothing like 2 weeks ago. So I understand what it's like to waste money, to lose stuff, to make some of the worst financial decisions in my life. But there came a time when I had to get myself together, and my life has changed. And having an emergency fund, as much as it's tight, and we're worried right now, we're making things tight, we got enough to make it for a few months, because I made a decision that this would not happen to me again. And so when you start to build your emergency cash, don't put everything in your first saving. If you can't afford to have 3 to 4 months, you can't give TTSP your money, because you can't touch it until you're 59 and a half. So if you're under that, you're going to get taxed for taking it out early. You got a hardship withdrawal, means you got to pay taxes on the money. Right. So sit down with us so we can help you build not only an emergency plan, but a comprehensive budget. Are you living beyond your means? I live on 70% of my income. When I get paid, 70% is what I live on. That 10% is my savings. First, my tithes first. Got to give God his and praise the Lord, because I believe I'm set free because of that one commitment. And I'm not trying to put God on anybody. That's just my story. My savings and my taxes. You know, one of the reasons why I stayed in trouble was because I always paid my taxes whenever I'm going to just, you know, we're always going to make something happen at the end. And the end doesn't always come. Now my budget dictate how I live, what I can spend, what I'm paying on gifts, what I'm doing for this. And we got everything in here. We didn't take anything out. We got the movies, the fun, we got shopping, we got eating out. But if your daily living is 40 to 50% of your entire budget, then there's a problem. I had a client, I think she was 24 years old. Her grocery bill was $350. Her eating out bill was $550, and she 120 pounds. Well, where you put $800 worth of food? Exactly. She said, Rita, I said, I know you're throwing away vegetables, fruit, food. She said, I am. How you know? Because I know you're not eating it. So from that budget, we were able to put $250 away into a retirement plan that by the time she is 65 years old, she's bringing home $58,000 a year, tax-free from what she's wasting now in grocery. So this budget right here becomes your blueprint for your success. Nothing happens. Guess what? The government shut down because the budget ain't in alignment. If your budget ain't in alignment, you will be shut down just like this. It's just an indication.
Yep. And, you know, Rita, that's so ironic you said that the government budget wasn't set up correctly. And if we're honest with ourselves, how many times have we had many shutdowns already because our budget is not in alignment? We go through this already. And I often tell people, amnesia and euphoria are a Molotov cocktail for your finances. Darlene, what do I mean? We were here just in 2013. That was only 6 years ago. So if you have been in the government 7, 10 years plus, you've already been through this. Back then in 2013, it was the sequestration that caused the furlough. But employees, which the sequestration is just austerity measures that the government imposed on itself to get its budget back in alignment. And so as a result, there were furloughs, and it hurt you then. It hurt us then. So we're back here again. We cannot have amnesia that these things won't continue to happen. This is a possibility of happening every September the 13th. September 30th of every year. So you have to, make sure you are prepared. And a budget just allows you to see your inflow and outflow of cash, where you're spending it. And then if you're working with Rita and I, and we see your budget, we can then maybe reallocate some of that money so it can work harder for you.
Absolutely. And the whole purpose of all of that is just so that you can be proactive in all of your finances. And that, like Darlene just said, that you don't have to let another furlough, which we know is always possible, to catch you off financially again. It can't, so if you feel the pinch now, just sit still for a second. Feel the pinch. Make a commitment to yourself that this won't happen to you again. And what does it mean? Doesn't mean you're gonna have to sacrifice something probably. Doesn't mean you're going to stop shopping, going out. I told my clients, tell your girlfriends you can't hang out. Tell your boys you can't go spend no money. That's just what it is for me. We can't hang out. Me and Darlene and Sophia, we go out once a month. We ain't been out in a couple months, so we owe ourselves when we go out once a month. We was going out every week like we was crazy. Now we go out once a month, spend we were crazy. And spend $40 and have yourself a good time, or come home and watch some movies, and build your emergency fund, as we talked about, and evaluate it twice a year. Try to have 3 to 4 months of reserves that you can put your hands on, and that it doesn't cost you any stress. And just breathe and know that this too shall pass. I ain't gonna say no. I ain't gonna get really. I'm not going to go hard on the Lord, right? I'm going hard on the Lord for myself, but just know this is going to pass no matter how bad it gets. Trust me, y'all, I have lost probably almost everything I've been lost it all, bank accounts gone, the IRS took all my money or paid them $100,000 at one time. I had to sell a house because I could not afford it. I lost my husband's house. So when you say financially, my credit score has been in the 5, I've been, 70, 80 grand in debt. Trust me, I can feel all of your pain, but I can say today that I can breathe because that has all passed. And it didn't pass because it just passed. I had to make some real decisions and I had to put some work into it. I had to make some sacrifice. I had to start to save. And one of the things, you leave here today with nothing else about everything that we said, you must begin to respect and honor money, because if you don't, it will not respect and honor you.
Absolutely. So I was caught up, you all. I was caught up. I'm not kidding. So planning, and this is something we always let everyone know. Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it right now. But when you make your plan, okay, you have to have a plan. That is the biggest thing. But if you make your plan and you don't account for the what ifs that can occur in life, that can cause you to have a financial crisis, which is where now. Exactly some of us are sitting there right now. But guess what? You reach out to your Financial Fed Friday team. We have a whole ABS team. We have some of our members online right now, Mrs. Javon Jackson, Robert Bailey, the Smiths in Texas. We're all over. It doesn't matter. And I forgot to tell you all to shout out where you're calling from. But anyway, it doesn't matter where you are. We can reach you. So reach out to us. We can be reached on, if you're listening to us on the phone, 301-577-6340, or you can always email us at, and we made it simple, FFF@yourabsolutions.com. So we're here for you. Absolutely. So what's going to be right for you? It depends. Everyone is an individual. That's why we say we can't, this is going to be general in nature because we don't know everyone's situation, but you know your situation. Contact us today so we can develop a strategy for you that will help you reach your financial destination. And any of this information, we can help customize it for you. So how can we be of service to you? What can we do to help you on your financial destination? Sorry.
We know it's late, so I'm just clicking.
So we can help you with your life plan and questions to help you imagine your retirement, to do, to get yourself together. And this is also another important time too, Rita. We didn't touch on this. When I mentioned the amnesia and euphoria, that also applies to our money. Some of you, you're in retirement, you're getting ready to retire. The stock market has also been giving you heart palpitations probably. Ooh. Yesterday it was down another 2.5%, almost 3%. Today is up. Last year, the stock market ended in a loss. We have been riding high because the market has been so high. But I want to pose this question to you. If you're tired of being on the Wall Street roller coaster, how much, and it's nothing wrong, please don't get us wrong, there's nothing wrong with investing in stocks because that's how you help hedge off inflation. But you have to ask yourself, how much of your money do you want to keep safe? Where if the market goes down, you're not concerned. You can still sleep. You can still sleep. You have to have a diverse portfolio. So we just posed this question to you. How much of your money that you have right now do you want to secure? Is it 25%, 50%, 80%? Whatever that number is, call us. We can help you. And guess what? The programs, the products that we can offer you will still allow you to get the stock market gains. When we're talking about helping you plan, imagine your life in retirement, it will still allow you to get the stock market gains, but it's also going to allow you to sleep at night. Why? Because when the market goes down, you get credited with zero instead of the negative that you would get, that you currently just received when you open up your statements that you're going to be getting this month. So we can help you with that. Also, budgeting. We just went over with you the importance of having a budget. We can help you determine what your income needs are, get that budget in alignment. portfolio management, your financial products, tax considerations when you're doing investments, account management, IRA rollovers, talking to you about Roth conversions, establishing just a suitable income plan and a withdrawal plan.
Yeah, you know, I have Javon who said she had a client who lost $15,000 over the last month, but I had one, we met on, I think, a Monday. She lost $41,000 within the week. By the time I started her paperwork and we finished it that Monday, I think she had lost $41,000 in a week. And so it's real, you know, it's real. So and we're not talking about it. Be very clear. It might get on thrift day. No, we're just saying for you, what's important to you? What's that amount of your funds that you want to keep and that you feel comfortable to lose, and the part that you don't and you want to secure, that's what we help you do.
Exactly, because we were also here just 11 years ago in 2008 when you saw your money disappear out of your accounts. So make sure you do that. So we at Affordable Benefit Solutions, we are a full service financial services company. We can help you with everything, your retirement planning, learn concepts of tax-free retirement and being your own banker. We can help you with that. Our other team member, Mrs. Javon Jackson, she wrote a book on being your banker, being your own banker, rollovers, your IRAs.
We're going to be done in a second, but how important is that? Right now, if you were in this situation, you had your own bank and it was a tight place for you, you could borrow from yourself, pay your bills, and then pay yourself back at terms that will suit you and not suit the bank or the credit union. So these concepts are very, very important. And just
exactly. We can help you with estate planning.
She's done well, y'all. Her mother, we know we just lost Miss Francine, but this process of having an estate plan, her mother having a real bona fide true trust has made a very already emotional, stressful place for her, less stress, less emotional, because it's one thing to be going through emotionally, but then have to go through trying to probate your estate and all the stuff that go on with that. Many people lose their mind and get frustrated. This process has been, a few hours for you as opposed to months and days.
Hours. And thank you, Rita. Our estate plan attorney that we work with, Mr. David Hardy, he was phenomenal. But you know, Rita and I, we believe in that whatever we offer to you, that we should have it too.
Yep.
We're not going to tell you to do something that we're not willing to put our own money in. And my mother and myself, we have a living trust. This is estate planning.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, it was a lifesaver. Like Rita said, it was just a couple of hours. Now, our attorney, he normally settles the trust. But I said, you know what? I want to walk through what you would do, because I want to be able to tell people, hey, look, this is why you need a trust, but then this is what your family is going to have to deal with once you are gone. This is how the end of the journey will be for your family. And we had the paperwork, we filed a will of no estate, took it to the courthouse, because I didn't know you still had to report the death to the Register of Wills. Mm-hmm. So that was something I learned. Also, I just learned by going to do that now if you only have a will, your executor of your estate, they have to be bonded now. They have to get a bond for the value of your estate. So do you have money for them to do that? So that's just a little bit. I don't want to get too much into that. So proper estate planning, we can help you with that. Any of our team members at ABS. Insurance services, insure your love. We're going to be going over that. You need life insurance. This isn't grandma's insurance anymore.
Absolutely.
Insurance has evolved so much to helping you be your own baker, having paycheck protection. We protect everything. We got insurance on these phones, but we don't put insurance on the things that help us pay this phone, which is our income. Our ability to work is our greatest asset, and we don't protect it with disability income. So we can offer or long-term care or cancer products, any number of things we can help you with, and our credit and debt elimination. We went over the MWR. Go to mwrfinancial.com /2 B is in Bailey, and Venture, V-E-N-T.
To be
rolling.
My husband's gonna be mad. To be Venture.
Yes, so we are a full service financial services company. We can help you with everything. We appreciate you hanging in here with us because this was a special edition. Our normal webinars, we do not go this long. Our contact information is here on the screen. You can reach us at www.yourabsolutions, and that's with an S, inc.com. If you want to reach us, go to our website. You can also call us on the phone at 301-577-6340.
And I just want to say thank you to all of our Facebook people. They're calling down from all over. We got Tangi, we got Wanda, we got Charles from Wakefield, Virginia. We got Tawana, we got Abby from West Virginia, Martinsburg. We got Baltimore. We got Kebrew from
New Jersey. Welcome, New Jersey.
We got Clinton, Maryland. And of course, we have all of you guys on the webinar. So we do not take it for granted that you trust us enough to give us some of your time to share some information with you. And we just want to say we pray that we've helped you today, something you got today to help change your life and make things better for you. So give us some love, and we got Texas in the house, we got Alexandria in the house, we got Woodbridge, Virginia, and we got some other people we don't know you're on the call, but thank you. And if you have any questions right now, feel free to
type them in on Facebook, type them in here. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Hi, Alberto. Happy New Year, everyone. Yes. If we haven't said Happy New Year to you yet, Happy New Year. We were just like, getting it in. So please remember next week, next Friday, same bat channel, same bat time. We will be back.
Same bat women.
Right. We will be back on our regularly scheduled Financial Fed Friday broadcast at 10 a.m. If you received the special link, someone sent it to you, you want to go on over and register for the regularly scheduled webinar at www.rita, R-I-T-A, B as in Bailey, ROLAND.events.com, Rita B. RowlandEvents.com, and register there. So we have a question. What is the address to the MWR website again? So it is, I'm going to put it in the chat box.
And I'm still putting it on Facebook as well.
So give me a minute because it's MWR Financial, FINANCIAL.com, and then is /2 B as in Bailey, R as in Roland, Venture, VENTURE.
Okay, so I'll put it on Facebook as well. I'll put both the site to register and that website.
Any other questions? Thank you. Oh, if you're on the webinar, quickly just shout out where you are tuning in from. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, Charlotte Boston.
And thank you, Wanda Killinger. She said, you ladies are fearless. We take that.
Thank you, Wanda. Thank you very much. Yes, we're here for you. Our whole job for the Financial Fed Friday is just to bring you information that's relevant and that will help you, as we say, reach your financial destination. Hey, Sonia Carter. Yes, thank you. Okay. We don't know. Hi, Diana. You have your hand raised. Welcome. Where are you calling us from? Where are you watching us from? Okay, caller, you're on the line. We're just acting crazy now, but please, any questions you have, we're excited. Please tune in next week. We will, like I said, be here on the broadcast. I'm trying to.
How you, Diana? That's Mahmoud there. May 20. Alberto said, may your 2019 be highly successful and make ABS be the financial guidance. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Alberto. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Please email us at Your AB Solutions Inc. Or you can email us at info@YourABSolutions Inc. I'm gonna get that changed for next week, you all. But we're here. Call us on the phone, 301-577-6340. We will see you here next week on the broadcast. Take care, everyone. Bye. Okay. Okay, so we will